Hello, boys. Good morning. This is your teacher Jana Akhtar is with you in physics class. Um, in today's class, I will try to discuss some comprehension type question. Just in my previous class, I had also discussed on chapter 13, modern physics and electronics, and in today's class, I will also discuss some other comprehension type question from the same chapter, that means from modern physics and electronics. And I hope you will keep a note for these questions. This is not that these questions are if you just follow only this question, that will be enough for your preparation, or that will be enough for your exam. I'm just showing some examples and you have to study more. You have to learn about more questions from the all textbook. That means all text related topic. From all topic the questions can come. So let's start the class and questions. First of all, why is a p-n junction called a diode? In a diode, you have known about p-n junction, that whenever a p-type material and an n-type material is combined together, that is called a p-n junction. And the criteria of p-n junction, the characteristics of p-n junction, you already have known about this. A diode is called a p-n junction, or a p-n junction is called diode because the word diode in that means diode. If we divide it as diode, the prefix di indicates that there are two electrodes, and two electrode means two terminals here, two distinct terminals. These are called anode and cathode. A diode is electrically asymmetric because current can flow freely from anode to cathode only. This is asymmetric, means this is unidirectional. This allows current to pass in a unidirectional way, and from anode to cathode. But for reverse connection, no current flows in a diode. Just as p-n junction, you have known that whenever we just connect the battery in a forward connection, or forward, if we just bias the p-n junction as forward biased, that allows current to flow. But in case of reverse bias, there is no current flow. That means the p-n junction doesn't allow current to flow in case of reverse bias. So these all criteria that are needed for diode are maintained by the p-n junction, are fulfilled by p-n junction, and that's why the p-n junction is called a diode. That means the characteristics, that is the characteristics of p-n diode. The p-n junction shows the same nature, shows the same characters. That's why p-n junction is called a diode. Our second question is, what are the importance of modulation and demodulation? You have known about modulation and demodulation whenever we have learned about the transmission procedure of radio and television signals, and for transforming sound signal in case of radio or in case of TV, both the processors same. That means for transforming the sound signal, at first it is converted to electrical signal, because as sound signal it can it can't pass long way, so it is converted to electrical signal. And the generated electrical signal which you get here, the frequency of this signal is very poor, so that it can be distorted easily by noise signal. That means if we want to reach all the audience, we have to pass a long way, and this way there is a possibility of getting distorted by noise, so that the as the frequency of the original signal or generated signal is so low or so poor, so the original signal is merged with a high frequency carrier signal, because the carrier signal has high frequency, and if we mix the original signal with this high frequency signal, the carrier signal with help the main signal to transfer the whole way without any noise or distortion. And the process of this merging, that means the process of combining the main signal with the carrier signal, is called modulation. And this modulated signal is then transmitted in some ways and are sent to the receiver. On the other hand, in the receiver end, the modulated signal is separated from carrier signal, because the carrier signal is a combination of the modulated signal and the carrier signal, and so we have to separate the original one from the carrier signal, and then it is again converted into original signal. So for keeping the original signal secured, that means here the modulation process or the use of carrier signal is just as a guard for the main signal. The carrier signal is guarding the main signal to transfer in a secured way through the whole way, and thus the carrier signal allows the main signal not to be distorted, not to be disturbed. And then finally at the receiver end, we get the same signal that was generated by from the radio TV station. So for keeping the signal secured, noise free, and for keeping the signal quality well, the modulation and demodulation, both the process are used here. So I think you have known about the modulation and demodulation, and you have to know different kind of modulation on your higher studies or on your next studies. That means types of modulation, what kind of modulation are used for what purpose. So in this chapter you have got the primary idea about modulation and demodulation process, and you have to keep in mind all this topic for future. Our third question is, write down the full form of BTS, BSc, MSc, fax and SIM. You have got this word on this chapter, that means modern physics and electronics. From the part of electronics, there's short forms of words or abbreviation. Sometimes some abbreviation comes from different chapters. So what are the full forms of these words? BTS means base transceiver station. Sometimes BTS, BSc, MSc, all this word gets confused. Which one was the what is the proper abbreviation of these words? So practice it so that you can just memorize all the abbreviation. BTS, based transceiver station. BSc, base station controller. MSc, mobile switching center, and fax means facsimile. SIM is subscriber identity module. You have known about these words, and in specifically the BTS, BSc, MSc and SIM, these words are related to mobile phone or telephone, the transformation process, the signal transformation for a telephone or cell phone, and fax. This is a special machine that is used for transforming message or information from one person to another, and the full form of this fax is facsimile. And whenever you just get this kind of word in your book, for all chapter, if you find any kind this type of words that mean short form, that are written in short forms, you have to know the abbreviation, so that if the question comes in exam, you can answer these questions. So guys, these and the function of these terms, that means BTS, BSc, MSc, what are the function of these terms? You have to know about this, because sometimes in comprehension based question, the function of these terms also come. That means what is the explain about BTS, explain about BSc or MSc. So you will just try to study all these terms. Guys, today's class is just I'm going to finish today's class. If you have any question, any query, you can share in the comment section. And just in my next class, I will try to discuss some question from chapter 14, from your last chapter, physics to save life. So all of you just take care, stay safe, and goodbye.